everybody, Cinema Sickness here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today, head out to Best Buy where I got myself 12 titles, all on Blu-ray, so let's take a look at everything I got. So as you may or may not know, right now Best Buy is currently running their Upgrade and Save program, where you take in a DVD, trade it in, get yourself $5 off towards any Blu-ray, $9.99 and above. And I had 10 titles to trade in today, ended up getting myself 12 Blu-rays. You'll see how I did that in a second. Before you guys ask, because I do get asked this a lot, no, I don't take titles that I'm just not watching anymore and trade them in. If I buy a title on DVD and I like it, unless I upgrade it, I'll be keeping it. But there were some titles I did want to upgrade, and I did have some extra DVDs lying around because over the last few months, I have upgraded some of those DVDs to Blu-ray. So, had some DVDs lying around because of that, and I traded them in today, and here's what I got. Each title that I picked up today was marked at $9.99, so obviously after the $5 gift certificate, I picked up each one for only $4.99, an amazing deal. And the first time I picked up was Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I am a huge fan of this movie, as I am a huge fan of the entire El Mariachi trilogy. I think they are all fantastic movies. Definitely fell in love with Desperado. When that movie came out, I was a huge fan, and from that I ended up seeing El Mariachi, loved that one as well, and then a few years later, Once Upon a Time in Mexico came out, and I thought it was just as brilliant. This is a fantastic movie, just really fun, full of a lot of great action, just a brilliant, brilliant film. Haven't actually watched in a while, so now that I have it on Blu-ray, definitely going to check it out again. Then I grabbed Reanimator. And yes, believe it or not, I have never seen this movie. This is one I've wanted to see for the longest time now, as I am a huge, huge fan of horror movies, and I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this over the years. Every time people talk about their favorite horror movies, this one always ends up popping up somewhere, and I am just ashamed that I've never seen this movie. But the problem is that I'm a bargain hunter. I rarely ever pay over $5 for a single title, and I never come across this movie for cheap, whether on DVD, VHS, whatever. I just never come across it for a good price. So when I saw it today for only $4.99 on Blu-ray, obviously I had to pick it up, and I'll be watching this one ASAP. Then I grabbed The Mummy, which completes my Mummy trilogy on Blu-ray, which I am very excited about, because I love the Mummy trilogy. These movies are so much fun. They are completely cheeseball, definitely popcorn films, but they are excellent, full of tons of horror, action, comedy, just brilliant, brilliant films. Definitely guilty pleasures of mine, and I'm very excited to have all three on Blu-ray now. Next I picked up Midnight in Paris, which I simply grabbed because this is a Woody Allen film. I've recently been really getting into Woody Allen films. They've all been great thus far. Very funny, very witty, just great, great movies. Haven't seen this one yet. It is a blind buy, but because it's Woody Allen, had to grab it. Then I picked up a triple feature set, and that came with The Wedding Singer, Going the Distance, and Music and Lyrics. All Drew Barrymore films. Now the reason why I really, really wanted to get this is not only because, yeah, 3 movies for $5, that's an amazing deal, but also because of The Wedding Singer, because this is the totally awesome edition, which I didn't realize this 2 years ago, but that means that it's the extended cut. And about, I'd say 2 years ago, I think it was Target, they had it on sale for $5, and I passed up on it because I did not realize that by Totally Awesome Edition, they meant extended cut. I just figured it came with some extra bonus features or something, and since I already had the theatrical cut on DVD, I passed it over. And I was pretty upset about that once I found out that it was the extended cut, because I love the movie and I would definitely love to have the extended cut. And over the past few years, I've been looking for this movie, so when I came across it today, definitely had to grab it. Going the Distance, my wife actually already has that on DVD within her collection, and she says it's a good movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I look forward to checking it out. It has a pretty good lineup, and also Music and Lyrics. That's one I've been thinking about checking out for some time now. It's one of those movies where I'm not quite sure I'm going to like it or not, but now I have it on Blu-ray, I'm definitely going to check it out. Then I grabbed Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which is definitely by far my favorite of all the Monty Python movies, which for the longest time I would kind of refuse to admit to people, because this movie was just getting way overplayed a few years ago. Everybody was talking about it, it was everywhere, and frankly, I was getting sick of hearing about it, even though it is my favorite Monty Python film. So I used to tell people that Life of Brian was my favorite, when in reality, yeah, it was Monty Python the Holy Grail. I'm just a huge, huge fan of this movie. It is extremely funny, extremely well written, and just completely brilliant. So of course, wanted to get myself a copy on Blu-ray. Now I do already have this movie on DVD. It was actually one of the first DVDs I ever bought many years ago. But I am going to keep my DVD copy because it has this really cool kind of 3D artwork thing going on, so I definitely want to keep it for collecting purposes, but definitely had to get myself a Blu-ray copy as well. Then I picked up X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now, a lot of people dislike this movie, and I guess I can see why, but I enjoyed it. It's a popcorn film. I didn't think it was anything great, but I thought it was somewhat enjoyable. It is a decent movie, and I do have all the other X-Men movies on Blu-ray. This is the only one I had on DVD, so obviously, I figured it's about time to upgrade. Next title I grabbed was Changing Lanes, which apparently I do not own on DVD. For the longest time now, I thought I did have this movie on DVD, and I do not know how I got that in my head. I think what must have happened is I borrowed this movie from a friend, watched it, enjoyed it, wanted to get it on DVD, and then over time, since it was going a little while since I've seen it, I guess I just sort of built up in my head that I had the movie on DVD. Do not know how I did that, and the wife today actually saw this while we were in Best Buy and says, you know, hey, do you have Changing Lanes? I would love to see it. I said yes, but then I started thinking, wait, do I? Looked it up on my phone, and no, I don't own this movie, so had to finally get it today, and very odd that I just, like I said, for some reason, thought I owned this movie for years, but I certainly haven't, so now they have it on Blu-ray, gotta check it out again. Then I picked up The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. I have no idea how you pronounce that. I do remember this movie was coming out, but I haven't really heard much about it since, so yeah, I've completely forgot by now how to actually correctly pronounce the name of this movie. But it is one I wanted to see. I remember when it did come out, a lot of people were talking about it. I think this movie, yeah, 2 Academy Award nominations, so it was definitely nominated for some awards. It was the big buzz at the time. I've heard really good things about it, and I've wanted to see it ever since it came out. So today, had to pick it up. And the last Blu-ray I grabbed was I Saw the Devil, which I actually watched today as well, so we'll talk about it in a few minutes. So that's it for I Bought today, so now on to what I watched. And the first title I checked out today was George Gershwin Remembered, a fantastic documentary all about the life of George Gershwin. And if you do not know who he is, take your hands, put it like this, and smack yourself in the forehead. You really should know who George Gershwin is. He's an amazing composer, and even if you don't like Broadway, which I'm not a big Broadway fan, I'm obviously a big movie fan, which I'm sure most of you are. I guarantee you've heard plenty of his music throughout some great musicals over the years. A fantastic and amazing composer. And this was a great watch, all about from his parents coming over. They were immigrants from Russia, him being brought up and kind of as a troubled kid, then really getting into music and just becoming this great world-renowned composer. Very into kind of jazz, but sort of put a twist on all of it. Just, again, a fantastic composer, and this is definitely something to check out. Even if you're not really all that interested in George Gershwin himself, just from a movie standpoint, because again, his music has showed up in plenty of movies. So just from a movie standpoint, it is worth checking out to see all the great contributions he's made to cinema. So I would highly recommend checking this one out. If you come across it, it's definitely worth a watch. Very well done. A lot of fun to check out. It is actually an hour-and-a-half long, so they do pretty much cover everything there is to cover. Again, a fantastic watch and definitely worth checking out. And the second title I checked out today was, like I said, I Saw the Devil. Holy shit, was this an awesome movie. I was not expecting what I got out of this. This is definitely a revenge film, but a very twisted revenge film. The whole movie's about this police officer whose wife is killed by a serial killer, and he decides to go after him, but not in your typical kind of, I'm just going to go after him and kill him sort of way. He goes after him, beats him almost to death, puts a tracking device in him, and then tracks him other places. Beats him to death again, or not to death, but almost to death again. Lets him go, lets him live, finds him again, beats him almost to death. Just, this is the game he's playing with him. He's just tracking this guy down, beating him almost to death, just really making this guy suffer, and then letting him go so he can keep the game going. Very, very twisted. There are so many just crazy graphic scenes in here, tons of scenes I had to look away from. You know, I watch a lot of graphic movies, but even for me, there were some scenes where I was covering my eyes because I was just like, oh my god, that's horrible. Just things that I didn't even want to see. Just extremely, extremely twisted. Both the cop and the serial killer on this are just absolutely nuts. But the whole kind of idea of the film is that the cop who's going after the serial killer ends up becoming the monster himself. Because he, again, is torturing this guy, and instead of killing him or turning him in, he's letting him go. And in turn, the serial killer is actually killing some other people. So this cop could have saved some lives, but didn't because he's too busy toying with this serial killer who killed his wife. And then even at the end, see, should I spoil the ending for you? I don't know. I sometimes I like spoiling movies and sometimes I don't. But let's just say at the end, he does something very, very twisted, which, again, really shows how he has become a monster. Just the fact that he... see, I really don't want to spoil it. Again, just what he does at the end, very twisted. And like I said, it really does just show you just how evil he has become and how this cop who was, a great, good cop who... doing his job, upright citizen, has become an evil monster. And basically, you could possibly say just as evil as the serial killer he's hunting. So, again, a fantastic revenge movie that is just extremely twisted, and one I would highly, highly recommend. I would have to say, I know it's very beginning, very early in the year, but there's a pretty good chance this will be on my top 5 list for 2013. It was that good. Just very, very well done. And again, I would highly recommend it. And especially right now for only $4.99 at Best Buy with the Upgrade and Save program, that is definitely worth it. If you have an extra DVD lying around, go pick it up, take it to the Best Buy, and pick this one up. It is fantastic. You will not regret it. This is actually about 2.5 hours long. I think it's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It just flew by. I was a little worried about that when I saw the runtime. I thought, 2.5 hours, is it going to get boring? Is it going to kind of just drag on? No, it was just great. And even towards the ending, I wanted to keep going. I wanted to see him toy with this character more. So, just, again, I know I've already said this, but it's a fantastic film, and one you must pick up, and one you must check out. So that's it for what I bought when I watched today. Definitely got myself some great titles today from Best Buy using the Upgrade and Save program. And there actually are a few other titles that I wanted to pick up, but they were unavailable at my local Best Buy. So I will be running out to the Best Buy near my work tomorrow, and according to BestBuy.com, they do have some other titles that I want in stock. So I will be using the Upgrade and Save program to get some more Blu-rays, so you'll have those to see. Also, they're apparently running right now a program where you can trade in small electronics like cell phones and old MP3 players and I think digital cameras and stuff like that. You can apparently trade those in and get store credit for them. I've never done that before, not sure how it works, not even sure if they'll take the old cell phones, and I think I have a cell phone, MP3 player, and a couple old digital cameras. Not sure if they'll even take them, but I'm going to see how that works. I'm going to try to trade them in tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get some store credit so I can pick up some more titles. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, definitely expect to see some more titles from Best Buy tomorrow. Also watching George Gershwin Remembered, a great, fantastic documentary, and just for the for the contributions he made to the cinema world alone, it's worth checking out. Again, a very well done documentary. Not too much to say about it. It is just a documentary on that man's life, but it is certainly worth checking out if you can get your hands on it. Just very well done, a lot of fun to watch. And also watching I Saw the Devil. Wow, was that movie great. Like I said, a revenge movie, but really, really twisted to just this disturbing point. It just really, really disturbing, but very fun. A great movie. Just it'll get you kind of pumped up, and it gets you kind of rooting for the cop, and then about, maybe a quarter of the way into it, you're like, maybe I shouldn't be rooting for this guy. He's pretty demented. And again, just a lot of fun. And for $4.99 at Best Buy with the Upgrade and Save program, it is certainly worth picking up. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya.